What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel, Slow Down with Sarah Jean, where I'm an aspiring homesteader journeying towards simpler times in a modern world. In today's video, I thought it would be cool to show you guys how I'm gonna preserve my chickens' eggs. So we have a surplus of eggs right now because it's springtime and the days are getting longer. My chickens are producing so much, clearly more than we can keep up with. And while I can definitely sell to friends and family and I give away eggs and stuff like that, it's not really smart of me to do that because come winter, we didn't get any chicks this year. So come next winter, we're gonna be really short on eggs. And so I thought that I should really start preserving these eggs because we probably go through almost a dozen a day, give or take. And it just really depends. We're clearly not flying through these eggs fast enough. And so I'm gonna be preserving them 2 different ways today. And no special equipment is needed for these, just a couple of supplies. I am frequently asked, where is the best place to begin as a backyard suburban homesteader? And my top 2 responses are to start a garden and to own chickens. We started out with 8 chickens and one of them was a rooster and he was not very nice to my children, so we had to get rid of him and rehome him, and then we had 7 chickens. And that was a very moderate, that's definitely something that anybody can start with. You can even start with 4 chickens or 6 chickens if you have a really small space. You don't have to let them free range. Obviously, it's better for them. The eggs will be better for you if you do let them free range, but it's not necessary. They're still gonna be living a great life in your backyard, and you can monitor the types of food that they're eating, give them scraps, give them grass clippings or whatever. Worms, bugs. So we had the 7 chickens, and then last year we got 9 chicks, and so we had 16 chickens. And unfortunately, over the last couple of months, we've lost, thankfully, only 2 chickens. And so now we're down to 14 chickens. So give or take, we get about a dozen to 14 eggs a day. And that's a lot for us to keep up with, surprisingly. Even though we're eating around, I would say 8 to 10 eggs a day between breakfast and baking and things like that, we still have a big surplus of eggs, clearly. And so today I am going to be water glassing some eggs, which just requires some pickling lime and a jar that you can easily get your hand in and out of. And it has to seal and be airtight. You're also gonna want a pair of gloves to do this. And then I'm also gonna be freezing some eggs in these containers, which I like to use to preserve. So I just got these, I'll link them in the description box. I got these last summer to preserve some of my sauces and things like that I just couldn't get around to canning. And I like these because they do seal very great and they're also reusable. So while plastic is not my first choice, I can reuse them, wash them out, and that makes me feel a little bit better about using them. And they do come in smaller sizes, which for preserving the eggs, I really ideally would like the half size of these, but I already have these in my pantry, and so I'm just gonna use up what I have. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and check all my eggs. So a lot of people are weird about water glassing eggs because if you type it in on the internet, it's gonna tell you that it's not good for you and that it's not a great way to preserve. However, you'll be able to know if your eggs are bad by the smell. So if you open this come next year, come next winter, supposedly it'll last 12 to 18 months in this jar while water glassing. Come winter, you open it and it smells bad, don't use the eggs, clearly. If it has a funky smell, or if you crack open an egg and it doesn't look right to you or it does not smell good to you, do not use it. But this is a completely safe and I think an easy way to preserve your eggs, especially when you have a big surplus. There are definitely going to be some questions about water glassing that if you wanted to leave in the comments, just let me know. I'll try to answer them the best I can. I've just done a lot of researching on, you know, because I don't have a freeze dryer. I do have a dehydrator, but I don't think that I want to get into dehydrating my eggs right now. I just think that these two ways are going to be easy enough for my family. And we have a deep freezer, so I'm going to go ahead and store the frozen eggs in the deep freezer. And then, you know, come winter, when we're baking or wanting to make scrambled eggs, we can just thaw these out and then use them accordingly. There are a couple of rules you want to follow when you're water glassing the eggs. The eggs have to be completely clean. They have to be, you know, they can't have poop on them. Like this egg has poop on it. I would obviously not put that in the solution because farm fresh eggs have a bloom on them that protects the coating, and so it's going to protect anything from getting through the pores into the actual egg itself. So whatever eggs I have here that are not completely clean, you know, they can't have any remnants on them whatsoever, I'll just use for my scrambled eggs that are going to go into the freezer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these and go through and make sure that I'm using clean eggs only. I'm going to mix up the solution. I'm going to make sure that I use gloves. The pickling line can make you itchy and kind of affect your hands, so I recommend definitely using gloves when you're handling the pickling line. And so the ratio for the water towards the pickling lime is 1 ounce of pickling lime to every cup of water, or 8 ounces of water. I'm clearly not doing this very in a very clean manner. Evidently pickling lime can get messy. Okay, and then I'm all set with the scale. And I should have also mentioned you want room temperature. You can do distilled water or purified water. And then I'm gonna make sure that all my eggs are clean, and I'm gonna drop them in. So it is normal for the lime to settle on the bottom over time. It's completely fine. And you do not want to wash your eggs prior to using them because that'll wash the bloom off. And you want that bloom on your eggs. This is also my first time doing this, so. You cannot do this with eggs from the store because they have been washed and they're not farm fresh. Like, you need to do this with fresh eggs. All right, so I believe I fit about a dozen in there. Gonna to get more of these jars to do more of this. I'm gonna label it. I wanted to water glass more eggs, however, I don't have enough jars. I realized that. I guess all of my like bigger mason jars are filled. I've also seen people use like big pickle jars, the glass pickle jars, just to make sure you're using like an airtight vessel. And I'm looking around and I don't have any more, so I'm just gonna go ahead and break up some eggs, put them in these containers, and we're gonna freeze them. I know this is so random, but I bought like a ton of bananas today at the store. I bought 30 bananas for $2.50. So I'm gonna preserve those next just by putting them in the freezer. I'm gonna peel them and I get them ready for smoothies just by peeling them and putting them in a Ziploc bag. So I'm just gonna label this eggs, 12 eggs. We're gonna write the date on it, and then I'm gonna freeze them just like that. I hope today's video was helpful for you. I know that learning new skills like water glassing eggs sounded really funky to me, and I'm excited to see how they turn out come winter when we're really low on egg production here. And if you are looking to own chickens and you have any questions, send them to me. I really think that owning chickens is such an easy task. My kids love helping take care of the chickens. They go out and fetch the eggs. They're really hardy, so we live in Massachusetts and they survive fine in the winter with no heat lamps or any extra things. Especially if you are a backyard homesteader like myself, adding chickens to your homestead will be so beneficial. So I suggest looking into owning chickens. See if you can do that in your area. If you have a little bit of space, they make small chicken coops. It's really cool to have chickens. So if you liked today's video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. It means so much to me and my family. Also, if you hit that subscribe button, that is so supportive to my channel, because once you hit a certain number of subscribers, I believe it's 1,000, YouTube will start paying me. And as a stay-at-home mama trying to grow my business, it just means a lot to me to have more subscribers to our channel. So if you think a friend or a family member would like any of the videos on my channel, feel free to send them that video, tell them to subscribe, and my family and I just so appreciate the comments and shares and everything you guys do to support us. And yeah, I hope you guys will stick around and stay tuned for next week's video. Bye-bye.